Ready, 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you for calling Kwestyon Technical Support. My name is Candace. I'll be your resolution specialist for today. May I have your name, please?
Hi, Candace. This is Sophie. And I'm pretty sure I'm 30 minutes away from getting fired. Here's the problem my internet stopped working and the clock is ticking. I was about to send my report this morning. I hit send and poof, the connection's gone. I'm seeing an exclamation point at the bottom of my screen, if that makes any sense to you, and it's saying no internet. It's 9 and I need to send my report before 10. So, a little help, please.
I apologize for this inconvenience, Sophie. I understand that this is a time-sensitive issue, and I'll do my best to fix your connection before 10, hopefully.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to hear.
This is an effective empathy statement because it affirms the customer's goal. What does she want? She wants her internet to be fixed before 10 so she can send her report and not get fired. It's my pleasure. So you said that you were unable to send your report and the screen is showing no internet. Is it an intermittent connection where it's cutting in and out, or is it a complete loss of connection?
A complete loss. It's not
Okay.
just slow or, as you said, intermittent connection. No, I've been reloading it for 30 minutes straight now, and there is nothing whatsoever.
Intermittent connection and a complete loss of connection are two different problems that require two different troubleshooting processes. Therefore, it is important for Candice to know early on in this call which of the two problems is Sophie really experiencing. So that is why she asked the question to clarify. This right here is the first part of probing. In order to find the solution, you have to define the problem as specifically as you can. And in this case, the specific problem is a complete loss of connection. Now that we've determined the problem, we need to find the solution, and we do that by finding out the cause of the problem and then addressing that problem. Here's the complicated part. With most technical issues, the cause of the problem is never straightforward. For example, in this scenario, a complete loss of connection, I can think of 5 different possible reasons why Sophie is experiencing this. And it could be a modem issue, could be an outage in the area, it could be that Sophie did not pay her bill or forgot to pay her bill, a device issue, or it could be an obscure issue that only a technician could solve. So, what does this mean for your AHT or average handling time? This means that you have to investigate 5 possible causes within a limited average handling time, meaning you have to do it as short as possible, as fast as possible. How exactly do you do that? Based on these 5 hypotheses, how do you make your troubleshooting process as fast and efficient and short as possible? Do you have an idea? You have 5 seconds to answer that question. And the answer is you need to start with a hypothesis that takes the least amount of time to confirm. As you can see in this table, it's the power outage and the non-payment that take the least amount of time to confirm. So the sooner you can rule these two out, the faster and more simplified it will be for you. So I made a call flow chart for you to make sense of everything that Candace is telling the customer to do. Here we start with a call, thank you for calling Kwestyon Technical Support. And then the customer says that she has no internet connection and that is a complete loss of connection, right? So of course what you do is you pull up her account, obviously. Now, after pulling up her account, you have to start with the possible cause that takes the least amount of time to confirm. In this case, is to check for outages, all right? And then you have to ask yourself, is there an outage? If the answer is yes, all you have to do is to advise the customer to wait for the fix because no amount of troubleshooting will solve her issue, but to just wait for the fix from the company. What happens after that is the end of the call. That's it. That's all you have to do if it's an outage issue. You cannot do anything else. And so if it's not an outage issue, what you have to do is to check for unpaid services. And if she does have an unpaid bill, you have to advise her to settle her balance. That's the only solution for this problem. And then you end the call. But if it's not an unpaid bill, then it could be a modem issue or a device issue, in which case you have to have the customer check if a second device can connect to the internet and check the light indicators. Can a second device connect? If a second device can connect and the lights on the modem are green, that means that it is a possible issue of the first device, because why else could the other device connect? So in this case, what you have to do is to ensure that the internet physical setup is correct, that the cable is undamaged and properly plugged, or that the internet configuration setting is correct. So you basically have to pay attention to your device setup. But let's say that a second device also cannot connect and there are maybe red lights, not green lights. It will be under no. And so if that's the case, then it is a possible modem issue, in which case you have to ask the customer to reset her modem. Did the reset work? And if the answer is no, then your last resort would be to dispatch a technician, because that's the last resort. So whatever happens here, as you can see, everything will lead to you ending the call. But some problems, as you can see, are less complicated and take less time to solve, and others like modem issue and issue of the device take longer to solve. So now we're going to continue with the mock call. Is it an intermittent connection where it's cutting in and out, or is it a complete loss of connection?
A complete loss. It's not
Okay.
just low or, as you said, intermittent connection. No, I've been reloading it for 30 minutes straight now, and there is nothing whatsoever.
I see. Okay. So I'm going to start troubleshooting now. First thing I'm going to do is to check for outages in your area. And for that, I would need to pull up your account. May I have your account number?
It's 213 456 879.
Thank you. Notice this pattern because this is crucial. ERC, or explanation, request, compliance. So this is a very common pattern when making a request to your customer. It's going to be like this throughout the call. ERC, a continuous cycle of ERC until there is a solution. But how exactly does ERC look like? As you heard earlier, the agent said, so the first thing I'm going to do now is to pull up your account to check for outages in your area. So that is the explanation. In this case, the agent is telling the customer her plan as to how she would go about solving her problems. In the request part, she said, "May you know your account number?" After that, we know that the request is successful because the customer gave her account number. So that's the first ERC cycle of this call. Now let's proceed, and I want you to notice the next one. So I'm going to start troubleshooting now. First thing I'm going to do is to check for outages in your area, and for that, I would need to pull up your account. May I have your account number?
It's 213 456 879.
Thank you. And your complete name and best callback number?
Sophie Collins, 962-164-4566.
Awesome. And your 4-digit passcode?
Oh, come on, are you kidding me? What is that? Where can I find that?
Do you remember the 4-digit passcode you set up when you ordered our service?
I don't know. Try 1426.
Okay.
1426.
Okay, got it. And lastly, I just need the address where your internet is installed so I can check if there's an ongoing outage in your area.
1065 Winterfell Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19093.
Thank you. One moment, please, while I'm checking for outages. By the way, Candace at this moment is not just checking for outages. She's also checking for unpaid bills, but she's not actually going to tell Sophie that, because what's the point of saying, "Great, Sophie, I see that your loss of connection isn't caused by an unpaid bill. What's the point of saying that? That would be catastrophic for the rapport. The likely response of Sophie would be like, of course I paid. Do you think I'm an idiot? You're wasting my time. Fix my connection now. Why are you checking my billing history? Of course I paid. So you don't want that to happen. Check the billing history of your customer secretly and only bring up that issue if she really has an unpaid bill. All right. There's no outage in your area and there's no open ticket submitted so far. So this brings us to the possible issue with either your modem or your device. And for me to identify which, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to diagnose the problem. Is that okay with you?
Okay, fair enough.
Did you notice that? That's the second cycle of ERC. There's no outage in your area and there's no open ticket submitted so far. So this brings us to the possible issue with either your modem or your device. And then it's followed by the request. And for me to identify which, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to diagnose the problem. Is that okay with you?
Okay, fair enough.
The customer would have no problem complying because she knows the purpose of those questions. This pattern is like saying, this is the current status. Here's what I need you to do. And if you do that, I'm going to provide you with an update or better yet, a resolution later. So it's a give and take relationship. You're making your customer do things, but at the same time, you're giving something in return. Because what usually happens is that agents tend to ask without giving anything in return. God only knows what the plan is, whether there's any progress. The customers don't have a clue. They feel lost and they feel impatient, and no wonder. Whereas with ERC, you're providing your customers with mini updates along the way. So the customer couldn't help but think, I'm gonna follow what this agent is telling me to do because it sounds like she knows what she's doing. She keeps me updated along the way. She helps me understand and she makes the process less intimidating. And it feels safe and it feels good. That is basically to establish trust with your customer. This is really all about trust. If your customer doesn't trust your ability or your willingness to help her, it's going to be hard for you to make her do things and obtain information from her. And you might think that, well, I'm the expert here. Why can't she just bloody well listen to me? That is true. But remember that your customer has the eyes to see and the hands to move things around for you. So it is very important that she feels that it is a collaboration instead of you trying to make her do things and not explaining a thing. There's no outage in your area and there's no open ticket submitted so far. So this brings us to the possible issue with either your modem or your device. And for me to identify which, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to diagnose the problem. Is that okay with you?
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, thank you. So what device are you currently using?
I'm using my desktop computer.
Are you using a wired connection or a wireless connection?
Yes, the one plugged in behind the CPU.
So it is a wired connection from your CPU to your modem, right?
Yes, it's a wired connection.
Okay. Are you in the same room as your modem where your internet is set up?
I'm sorry, honey, but I don't know what a modem is, but yes, I think I'm in the same room where your technician set up my internet. So,
Okay, great. So your modem is the flat rectangular box. It has two upright antennas. It's black and it has a white Kwestyon logo on top of it. Do you see it somewhere in
yep,
the setup?
I see it.
Okay, good.
I also see power, internet, WLAN, LAN, another thing. Am I
Yeah.
looking at the right thing?
Yes, you are. That's your modem. Could you tell me the colors of the indicator lights from each of those?
I see flashing lights, and there's a lot of red here. That's not a good sign, is it?
No, it's not a good sign. Red is a sign that something is malfunctioning and we have to identify which. So could you tell me which parts are in red? Is it the internet? Is it the LAN?
I see red on internet, on
Okay.
WLAN, and LAN.
Okay. This sounds like a modem issue to me because of the red lights, and I'm assuming that your other devices are also not working, right? Could you please connect another device? Maybe try playing a video on YouTube or browse
Yeah,
Google.
I wouldn't get my hopes up, honey. But let me see. 1 second. Let me play some YouTube cat videos.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. Not working. Same issue.
Okay. Okay. Then we're going to do a modem reset since there's no outage in your area and yet your modem is flashing red.
Okay.
So,
That makes sense. What do you want me to do?
okay. So at the back of your modem, do you see a black cable? It's thin and it's connected to a port that says power.
Hold on. Yes, I see it.
Okay, great. Now, please unplug that for at least 30 seconds.
All right. Ooh, this is a little hard to unplug. Okay. Okay, it's unplugged.
All right. So now all lights from your modem should be off.
Yep, they're turned off all right.
Okay.
So I just need to wait 30 seconds, right?
Yes, and after 30 seconds, plug it back in.
Okay. Okay. It's just weird. Nobody was touching it this morning and it just stopped working.
Yes, this could happen sometimes due to occasional glitches, but this shouldn't happen very often. Is this your first time experiencing this since you signed up with us last March?
Yeah. Yeah. This is my first time for sure.
Okay.
And I hope to God this works because worst case scenario, I'd have to run to my nearest Starbucks and buy a coffee just to connect. And I'm on a spending detox and I can't spend so much money, so this better work.
Yeah, I understand. Spend an insane amount of money in Starbucks too, so I understand. But we're gonna find out soon in a few seconds, and hopefully this will solve it. If not, we're gonna do something else. That's for sure. The part for small talk. You're waiting for the modem to reboot. You have nothing else to do. What else are you gonna do? Small talk. And the good thing about the small talk in this conversation is that it's related to the issue at hand. So it's not that hard to small talk. Now, small talk is going to be a topic for another video, but know that there are going to be parts in the troubleshooting process where you're going to wait for something to reboot and you have to talk to your customer to avoid awkward silences, and this is one of those. I understand. But we're gonna find out soon in a few seconds, and hopefully this will solve it. If not, we're gonna do something else. That's for sure.
Okay. So I am now plugging it back in. Here it goes. Et voila, it's plugged.
Great. Okay. Now we just need to wait for 1 more minute for it to completely restart.
Okay.
And after that, all the lights should turn green. Others will blink. That's normal, but there should be no more red lights.
All right. Do you mind staying on the line till I can confirm that it's working?
Of
I don't want to
course.
call a second time and explain again in case it doesn't.
Of course. I also need to confirm that it's resolved before I could end the call, so take your time.
Thank you. Um, do you think I can do this on my own the next time my internet stops working? Unplug, then replug the cable? I know I should have thought about this before, but I don't want to tinker with something I'm not so sure of, so.
That's a great idea, yes. In fact, your modem is a good place to start when you're having connection issues. Uh, think of it like a first aid, if you will, for connection problems, and that will save you time too because it does solve most connection problems.
Exactly, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I started calling you guys this morning. I remember it was around 8 a.m. sharp, and I was number 98 on the queue, and my call got picked up only around 9. I mean, that's a long wait.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is. And I apologize for that. We're usually not this busy at this time of year, but last week we had this major system upgrade and some services were disrupted. And now lots of our customers are calling, but next week everything should go back to normal.
Just my luck, huh, that I got this problem right when you're having a high call volume.
Yeah, it looks like it. That seems to be the case, yes, because your issue doesn't seem to be related to our system upgrade. It just so happened that you're calling in the middle of an upgrade, so I'm so sorry about that.
Oh well, just my luck. Nothing can be done about it. All right,
Okay.
I think it's already 2 minutes.
Okay. Can you test your internet and see if you're connected? Maybe try sending your report.
Okay, let me check my phone first because I
Okay.
have it closer to me.
All right.
Okay. It looks like my YouTube is now working on my phone. Can
Great.
already browse.
Okay. Is
Okay,
that a cat?
okay, here it is. Uh, okay, yeah, it's working now. The cat videos are playing.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, what about your desktop?
Now, let me check the other one. Let me check my desktop. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Oh, hold on. Something is wrong. I'm trying to send my report right now from my desktop, and it's still not working. I'm still seeing the
Okay.
no internet prompt. Oh, why?
Okay. So your phone is working, but not your desktop, right?
Yes, correct.
Could you please check again the light indicators on your modem? Are there any red lights still?
No, they're all green. Some of them are blinking, but they're all green.
Okay.
Could the blinking parts be the problem?
No, a blinking green light is normal. We only need to watch out for the red. Okay, so there's a great chance that the issue isn't with your modem anymore because A, the red lights are now green and your phone is already connected, but not your desktop. So what
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's weird. That's certainly weird. Problem is, I need to send my report via desktop, so I really need this fixed.
Of course, and we're gonna do that. Now, could you do me a favor and check if the cable connected to your CPU is the exact cable connected to your modem?
Of course it is. Look, there's only one cable, so it can't be the problem, can it?
You're right, you're right. It's unlikely. But before we proceed to the more complicated steps, it's advisable that we confirm the basic setup first. This will be quick, it'll be finished before you know it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. In this part, Sophie, instead of complying to Candace's request, lodged an objection. And that's normal. Even if you use the ERC framework, there's going to be a point in the troubleshooting process where the customer is getting impatient. And if the customer just doesn't see the point of doing what you want her to do, then she's going to lodge an objection. In this case, the customer didn't see the point of checking the cable because, as she said, there's only one cable. What's the point of checking if it's the exact cable connected from the CPU to the modem? As the agent, you could overcome your customer's objection by understanding where they're coming from and acknowledging the validity of their reasoning. In this case, Candace said, you're right, it's unlikely. So that's a very short sentence, but it's already an acknowledgement that, yes, I do see the point of your reasoning. But then Candace proceeded to say, but before we proceed to the more complicated steps, it's advisable that we confirm the basic setup first. Candace proceeded to emphasize the importance of following the basic setup first before proceeding to the more complicated steps. And she even added, "This will be quick. It'll be finished before you know it."
Okay, fine.
You know, she's just coming up with reasons for Sophie to follow her instructions. And one of the ways to do that is to emphasize that it's going to be fast. And that's true, by the way. It's just a fast checking of the setup first. This will be quick. It'll be finished before you know it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. So, is the cable properly plugged in, not loosely plugged or frayed or twisted in any way? Could you check for me?
Well, I'm sure it's fine, but give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, it looks okay to me,
Mm-hmm.
but ooh, you know what?
What is it?
You will not believe what I'm seeing right now. The cable is horribly, horribly twisted. What is going on here? I think I discovered a problem. See,
Okay.
at the back of the CPU, the cable is barely plugged and the wire. The wire is so twisted. What is going on here?
Really? Well, if that's the case, I wouldn't wonder if that's the very reason why it isn't working. Could you try plugging it in properly?
Hold on, I'm replugging it now.
Okay.
I swear it was working just last night. I don't know what happened here. Oh, I think my grandson happened here. Dylan? Dylan, honey? Dylan, what have you been playing this? Have you been playing with Crystal here this morning?
It's not my sister.
Did you play with my computer?
No.
Do not play here, okay?
That's a
Hold on. Sorry.
It's not my
Sorry, let me try
sister.
to.
It's a mouse.
Okay. It's plugged. I'm sorry. I didn't
No.
think they'd actually
No, it's
play
okay.
here, but it looks like they did.
No problem, no problem. Let's just be thankful that they were not hurt, and that's a good thing that you found out, so you could keep them safe next time. That could be dangerous.
Oh, I need to lock this room from now on. Jesus Christ, these kids. Anyway, it looks like it's working now. I don't see the exclamation point anymore. Hold on, let me try to send my report, okay?
Of course. Go ahead.
So, let me access my drafts and attach more files. This, and this, and this. And finally. Thank you so
Is it
much,
working?
Candace. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Sophie.
Oh, you're a lifesaver. That's for sure.
Oh, well, I'm very glad that I helped you not to spend money on Starbucks today. So,
Oh, don't I agree?
so would there be anything else that I can help you with today?
Nope, but thank you so much. You're getting a 5-star.
Thank you. And thank you so much for being my troubleshooting partner today. Just a quick recap. You called in today because your phone and desktop couldn't connect to the internet. First, we reset your modem and then we ensured that the cable from your CPU to your modem was properly connected. And now both are connected. All right, and this right here is the recap. Based on my research with troubleshooting calls, you have to always do the recap no matter what. Personally, I think that it's unnecessary. Because did you hear what Candace just said? She basically just reviewed everything that happened in the troubleshooting process and confirm it with Sophie. For me, recap is something you do when there's something that you don't want the customer to forget. For example, she wants to return an item and you want her to remember that, hey, you need to put them in the original packaging and you need to remember that there are things that are non-returnable. But in this case, it's just a troubleshooting issue and the customer basically knows what happened in the call because she just had it with you. So for me, it doesn't really make sense that there would be a recap in a troubleshooting call. But I guess if I have to guess, maybe the purpose for a recap is for QAs to know exactly what happened in that call without listening to the whole call. Other than that, it feels like, in a telenovela, you're telling the customer, ang nakaraan, or, previously. Because if I am the customer, I would hear an agent doing a recap. I would just be thinking in my head, yeah, I know exactly what we did in this call because I just talked to you. So anyway, but know that recap is always going to be a part of a troubleshooting call for whatever reason. Just know that. Quick recap, you called in today because your phone and desktop couldn't connect to the internet. First, we reset your modem and then we ensured that the cable from your CPU to your modem was properly connected. And now both are connected.
Yep. Now I'm going to have a word with my grandkids. You have yourself a great day, Candace. Bye.
You too, Sophie. Thank you for calling Kwestyon Technical Support. Bye. Because this is such a heavy lesson, I am doing a summary for all the things that you need to remember from this video. And I want you to screenshot these summaries because they're very important for you. First is how to probe effectively. The ERC, the explanation, request, compliance. So call flow wise, these are the steps for a troubleshooting call. And lastly, some of you might say that this is a pretty tame customer and she's not really irate. That's true. And this is also a very basic problem. That's true. I did this on purpose because I want to focus on the foundational principle of handling a troubleshooting call, and making the problem complicated would just make it just very complicated for you to understand. So this is already a very complicated lesson. I don't want to complicate things. So yeah, I just did it. I just created a very simple problem demonstrating the principles of handling this type of call. And so that's it.